Pope Leo prays for victims of Venezuela earthquake. Following the recitation of the Angelus prayer, Pope Leo XIV turned his thoughts to Venezuela, which has been tragically struck by two powerful earthquakes that have claimed nearly 3,000 lives. The Pope also remembered the recent beatification of Vietnamese priest Francis Xavier Trong Bu, who was killed out of hatred for the faith. Following the recitation of the Angelus, Pope Leo XIV addressed the crowds in Spanish to express his care and closeness to Venezuelans who have been mourning the loss of their loved ones since the devastating earthquakes that struck on June 24. The death toll continues to rise following the two earthquakes that irreparably devastated La Guaira, the epicenter of the disaster about 40 kilometers from the capital, Caracas. I continue to remember in my prayers the victims of the earthquake and all the Venezuelan people. May the Lord sustain them in this time of great hardship. The country has now registered nearly 3,000 deaths from the twin earthquakes, one of the most powerful and devastating disasters in Latin America. Many displaced people are still living on the streets or in makeshift shelters under precarious conditions, while international rescue teams are gradually ending their search for survivors trapped beneath the rubble. Support for the workers of the gospel. The Pope also recalled the beatification, celebrated on July 2 at the Taxi Shrine in Vietnam, of Father Francis Xavier Trong Bu, who was killed in 1946 out of hatred for the faith. The ceremony was presided over by Cardinal Luis Antonio Gocumtegel, pro-prefect of the Dicastery for Evangelization, who described the priest as a missionary par excellence. Pope Leo XIV presented him as an example of closeness to the people. Amid oppression and violence, he defended the rights of the people and did not abandon his parishioners. May his intercession and prayer strengthen all those who proclaim the gospel in situations of persecution today. Finally, the Pope greeted those gathered in St. Peter's Square. Speaking in Portuguese, he welcomed pilgrims from Brazil and the choir of the University of Merida in Venezuela. He also greeted several Polish groups, as well as groups of Italian faithful from Bellagio and Lake Como and from Sicily.